Baby's gonna shine.
Welcome to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly tournament rundown show of the biggest and best tournaments happening all over the world. Warhammer 40,000. My name is Paul, your host. I'm joined by Adam Camilleri.
G'day.
And Dustin Henshaw.
Do not adjust your sets. He is not frozen today.
Yeah. You are, though.
I am very
That's
frozen. I am permanent Zoolander pose.
Chiseled.
Blue stealing.
We do this show each and every week, live Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Really appreciate folks tuning in, no matter where you are. It could be after the fact. We appreciate that as well. Just let you know you can come hang out with us and a great chat community each and every Thursday if you so choose to do so. We have 3 wonderful events to bring you coverage from this show. We have the Glasshammer GT, the Salzburg Major, and War Games Con 14.
Bam.
Looking forward to it.
It's a brand new world. This is the first fully fledged week of the 10.5.
This is the exciting time. We'd love to see all these new lists.
All new, everything, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, is this going to throw off our predictions? You know, look.
No more than they have been.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Things going fine over here.
That's true. Yeah, I mean,
TPM land. You know?
Have you seen the points, Dustin?
I have. It's absolutely insane. What happened?
We're getting slaughtered, buddy.
What happened?
Well, look, this is your weeks. It could be each of y'all's weeks to come back into it. But look, when I mentioned we have 3 great events to talk about, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about one of them, the Glasshammer GT. This is in Birmingham, England. 169 players.
Nice.
6 rounds. Yeah. Birmingham.
Yeah.
Birmingham.
I think you decide how you want to fling the letters in there and roll them together.
So depending on where you are in our country, or well, my country, not y'all, all in different countries.
We're all in different countries.
Birmingham can be said, much different ways. So, but this is probably the original over there in England 6-round event. What are we going to see there?
In the Imperial Super Faction, there are 8 Sisters of Battle, 6 Custodes, 3 Admech. Ooh, Admech coming in hot already. 2 Astra Militarum, 6 Grey Knights, and 4 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 9 Adeptus Astartes, 8 Dark Angels, 3 Space Wolves, 10 Blood Angels, 1 Death Watch, 7 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 7 Chaos Space Marines, 6 T-Suns, 9 Death Guard, 6 World Leaders, 12 Demons. No surprise there. Demons coming in hot off of that data slate for sure. 4 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there are 11 Necrons, 6 Orcs, 5 Tau, 2 Votan. Hive Mind. Here's the other big one that's going to get the glow up, the 15 Tyranids. Oh my God.
15 Tyranids? That is like a quadruple.
That is,
we've seen
they're
recently.
coming out of the Hive fleet has arrived. My God. And 1 G-Star call player still there. He's
still there.
With the new codex. He's still
there.
there.
Nothing's changed for that guy.
Yeah.
Eldari, there's 8 Drukhari and then 10 Eldari. Meaning the faction podium is Tyranids, topping it with 15 right now. Demons close behind them with 12, and then Necron still there with 11.
Is this 8 months ago?
Right?
Brave New World.
This is amazing. I love it. Tyranids are going to be everywhere. Are they good enough to start topping events? I definitely got the glow up to do it. They got some really good buffs. It's got NID players excited. For sure.
Oh, what do y'all think is standing out for him, though?
The literal last time this podium could have occurred was in 8th edition. When we had the flying circus pre-rule of 3 Hive Tyrant and Alphabet Chicken. The last time this could have occurred, because those 2 lists coexisted. And the last time both of these have been very relevant meta picks and really exciting to see.
True.
I'm stoked. I am stoked for this faction spread.
So, but what is this for the Tyranids that is calling them back, listening to what is the Hive squeal?
Well, I mean, first of all, Synapse is no longer just a detriment if you're not in it. Now it's actually a buff. Like before, for a long time, Synapse has just been you don't get leadership or whatever. Now you 3d6 for morale checks. Like, I mean, that's good. Don't get me wrong, but it was not something you're like, I have to be in it, otherwise I'm not efficient.
It was you had to be in Synapse to play like everybody else.
Exactly.
Like,
you had to be in Synapse.
Not
getting messed up.
It wasn't there wasn't any boons to it.
We're not talking like instinctual behavior or anything like we used to, but
now
they're
not eating themselves.
Yeah,
lurking.
Yeah. But now,
do you remember the tables? They'd all have different tables.
Yes.
Like, wow.
Would they lurk or would they hunt or whatever?
Hunt, or feed. Those are the 3.
Yeah. Always feed.
Always feed. Always feed. But yes, now it is actually not a detriment anymore. It's just you get +1 strength in melee if you're in Synapse. Like that's incredible for an army that has a lot of melee stuff in it, a lot of little claws.
Yeah.
Think suddenly even Hormagaunts become scary in close combat because of that +1 strength because they're -1 base. But there's so many breakpoints with that +1 strength. Trigon's going to strength 10. You know, Moloch's going up a couple of strength to I think strength 9 with their 16 attacks. Raveners going up to strength 6. Warriors going up to strength 6. Like it's a huge breakpoint for a lot of the army. And not only that, they got some good points drops. And the big thing is that Vanguard got new monsters in it. Molochs, Trigons, and Raveners have the Vanguard keyword now, which is so cool. I love that.
Are you saying Crusher Stampede is no longer the top?
I'm saying stop trying to make Crusher Stampede good because it's not working. It's fine. We don't need it.
What are you saying?
They got a little
triple heart respect. Be a lad.
What? Why? They got
toxic,
they did
your
get
Toxicrines can move, have a smaller wingspan than a Baneblade now for the first time.
They still are a pain to put on the table, move around the table. It doesn't matter what you do to them. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, the Crusher Stampede got a cool, go through walls now, which is awesome. But
it is cool.
For those of you that started looking through the Tyranid Codex, the Hero Jewels have been legended. They didn't say anything about it, but they got legended. I was so mad. I was so mad.
Well, I'm still happy for Tyranid players because this is a faction that people love. People have, large collections, and if they can break them out with confidence in a competitive scene, I think that's only good for the environment. Because I like strong bad guys out there in the well, if you can even call them, I don't know what their agenda is other than to consume.
I would say they're bad guys because compared to everybody else, they're pretty bad. They're bad for everybody else.
There we go. We pulled out some top players list here. What are we? What would we choose to pull them out and why?
So we're getting into the second half of the year. We're past the 6th month, almost into the 7th month of the year. So it's time for us to start shining the magnifying glass on those ITC rankings. And so should there be a top player in the respective regions rankings in attendance at a large event, very likely we'll pull out that list. I mean, if it was just like an Optic Court race, we'd probably give it a miss. But if there is like one of the top players in the ITC at an event and they're playing something worth talking about, like that's not just cookie cutter, or sometimes we'll do that anyway and just see like, hey, here's what the best player in the world is playing, yada yada yada.
It's a relevant stat. I mean, when A-list is so dominant, players will try to remove variance from their game, and so they will be forced to play the dominance. When there is this, what we've seen as a very volatile top 10 around the world, that creates gaps for brewers to get in there and make a difference, so that's where we're at right now, by the way. I think that's a great spot to be.
In addition to that, when we have such a unique faction podium and a brand new meta, we always want to shine a light on that. And so I've pulled out a Tyranid list as well. Both very good players. First of which, excuse me, is Josh Roberts, currently ranked #1 in the world in the ITC. Literally #1. Yeah, the #1. Not in the region or overall. He's playing Chaos Space Marines Renegade Raiders. So apologies, got Renegade Raiders in there twice. I copy pasted wrong. 3 Chaos Lords, one with the Dread Reaver, which I believe is the scout ability. And then we got Cypher, which had a brand new revamp in the modality and the reasons for taking him, because now everybody has essentially what Cypher had previously, which was an aura of your command points cost 1 more. But now it's not restricted to those battle tactics strats costing 1 more. It's anything you use within 12 of Cypher. And when you got a list like the Renegade Raiders that wants to be pushing up into the middle, grinding, trading, and stuff like that, it gets a lot of value. 10 Cultists, 3 into 5 Legionaries, 3 Rhinos, 2 Vindicators, even with their increased points cost, still taking 2, which I still think is very good. 2 into 5 Chosen to, of course, pair up with the Legionaries and the Chaos Lords in the Rhinos. Then we go into a unit of 3 Nurglings and 4 units of 5 Rubric Marines.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. Well, of course, we know you can take cult troops in the Chaos Space Marine.
They lose their Thousand Suns keyword and pick up the Heretic Astartes, but they still keep all the other abilities.
Well, they get Dark Pacts, yeah. So they get the lethals and the sustain, which is very good on Rubrics, who already have inbuilt AP on all their weapons. In addition, they get the buffs of the Renegade Raiders, so they get extra AP on top of that. Funnily enough, Rubric Marines are actually better in some respects in Chaos Space Marines than they are in Thousand Suns. They don't get the attached characters, which is the whole modus operandi is getting all those value characters, like just mulching through your opponent, doing all this incredibly awesome stuff in Thousand Suns. As soon as you remove that, and you just look Rubric Marine to Rubric Marine, these ones can be better because they can do a bunch of stuff that you can't really do with the Thousand Suns ones. So one's taken from the Thousand Suns book. So really interesting to see this. A lot of people have been talking a lot about Plague Marines being a really good take in Renegade Raiders or a variety of different Chaos Space Marine detachments. But yeah, they don't get the Dark Packs because they don't have that on their data sheet, but they will get the Renegade Raiders buffs and the benefit of the enhancements if they're can have legal characters attached. I don't think there are any that can attach to them, but they all get the strats. They get all the strats, and the strats is where the money is. So really, really, really cool. Very excited to see how this one does because this is a brand new take. And a lot of people have hyped this up as being like, take the Plague Marines, take the Rubric Marines in this in the Renegade Raiders or in the Chaos Space Marine book. So we will see how this goes. Do you have any thoughts on this one?
Phrase. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of list in this list. There are pieces that can trade. There are threat pieces. There's frustration pieces for your opponents. So it seems pretty good.
Oh, it's going to be a very good list. Josh wouldn't be taking it otherwise, number one player in the world. The next one I've pulled out is Matt Robertson, who is a perennial Team England WTC player. This is Tyranids. This is a Vanguard Onslaught, and so therefore I will give it to Dustin to read it out.
Of course. So we have a Broodlord, a Neuro Tyrant with a Neuro Node, 2 Wing Primes, 3x10 Gargoyles, a Biovore still, 2 Execreens, 10 Gene Stealers, 2 Mawlocks, 2 Neuro Lectors, a Pyrovore, 3 Raveners, and 2x6 Melee Warriors, of course, with the 2 Wing Primes. So for the most part, it looks like a pretty standard old school Vanguard Onslaught list, except now you're seeing 2 Mawlocks added in here because they have the Vanguard keyword, so they can actually be picked up and dropped down every turn to do their mortals.
Yeah.
So that's
Whack-a-Mole. That is back on the menu,
which was previously unavailable to this detachment.
Previously, it was completely unavailable. Yeah, they could not do that with the Mawlocks because before you could only do it with 2 Vanguard or 1 infantry. So Mawlocks did not qualify for any of them. But now that they have the Vanguard keyword, 2 of them can be picked up every turn. Just drop down new mortals every turn.
Yep. Like I said, whack-a-mole.
Love it.
Yeah, they're going to pop up, pop down, pop up, pop down. They're going to be very annoying, very frustrating. Yeah, sure. Still seeing the single Biovore, mate. Explain. Why would you still take this guy?
There are still some secondaries that he counts for. They can't do actions, but like behind enemy lines and stuff, like the spores still count for that. So it's still, and it still blocks movement. It still prevents advancing. Like it has a lot of play. Having 1 Biovore is not. It's still
a fat-based screen. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It still zones deep strike. It holds your backfield for less points now.
It's not broken anymore, but it's still ridiculously versatile.
That's a great point, though, is that the utility that people were taking it before is the primary attraction. Still, maybe not as relevant, but a lot of other function and stuff in that piece.
To be honest, I feel like people are actually going to be more annoyed by Biovores now because they're not screening them out to do like all their secondaries, but now they're going to be firing it to actually mess up with their movement. They're going to realize how much of a pain Biovores really can be.
So this has which is the Neuro Node, mate? Which enhancement?
Neuro Node, I believe, is the redeploy.
That's right. That's what I believe it is as well. What is the Neuro Tyrant joining in this, or is it just hanging out by itself?
Oh, in this one, he just hangs up by himself, mainly for -1.
I'm hearing amazing things out of the Neuro Tyrant Zoanthrope.
Oh my god,
build.
I cannot express how excited I am that he can join Zoanthrope.
That combo. What happened with the Broodlord? The Broodlord got some extra goodies attached also. Yeah,
just
now
one,
the Broodlord.
The big thing is he has the Synapse keyword now. So the G-Stealers he's with are now strength 5, -2 with 40 attacks. So
if you could be any more terrified of him.
Yeah, it's a good break point to hit.
Yeah.
The other one is the Raveners. I actually expected to see more Raveners in some of these lists. I did look at quite a few. There's a couple of other players who are playing very similar lists to Matt Robertson. So obviously there's some collaboration going on there behind the scenes in the hive mind. Expected to see more Raveners, but I don't know what you remove from this kind of list to put more in.
Yeah, I think the Raveners are actually incredible. They're going to strike 6 as well, and they're pretty cheap, 75 points for 3 of them, and they have the Uppy Downy, which is really helpful.
Yep.
So they don't use pay CP for it anymore. Like they could have done this before. Having the Vanguard keyword for them is good, but it's not going to be game changing for them. Like they can just be kind of like, I can do this in the Raveners, but you probably won't that often.
Yeah.
Having 1 squad of Raveners, I think in most Nidless is always just a good idea.
You think it's fine?
I think it's fine.
Fair enough.
But
Valentin,
Warriors is where the damage comes from, and the Jesus.
Sorry, Paul.
Actually.
Valentin in the chat pointed out the same thing that y'all did about the 50 points for that Biovore, which is still just a value buy. And so be on the lookout.
How much did it go
what
down?
is old is new again?
It used to be 75.
Oh, it went down 25. Went down a third of his points.
Yeah.
And that's obviously to denote that it's gone down. It doesn't
course.
generate a third of your points anymore.
Yes.
A third no longer generates a third of your total points. Anyway, that is the second list that we're going to be covering, which means it's time to pick some factions, boys, and this is going to be spicy.
Well, so this is the first week that we really cover every single one of the events is using the everything new, like everything we believe is in effect. So a lot of shakeup could happen out there.
All right, I have a dice. Paul, do you want to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6?
Look, I got to be the 6.
Okay. Dustin, you are 3 and 4.
But I don't want to go first.
Too bad. Dustin's going first.
Tyranids. Just give me the nids.
Yeah, I would have been ashamed of you.
I
would have literally gone backing my finger at you.
It's
time. Anything else? Nids. All right. Paul, would you like to go second?
Sure. Whatever the what's closest to what you rolled.
Well, I rolled a 3, so technically I'd be closer actually. But I don't want to pick Blood Angels over you. If you would like Blood Angels, you can have Blood Angels.
There is a lot of Blood Angels.
There is.
So I feel like I really want to do that, but I also feel like Chaos Space Marines are going to be really strong.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so which one do you want?
No. I'll go with Blood Angels since you are so genuinely. I'll
take the CSM. Let's do it.
So what we're doing is we're predicting who we think is going to win. We get points based on where they podium in the top 3. And we do a follow-up show for Patreon subscribers tier 2 and above, where we see how it did. Well, we did with our predictions, as well as go down like what the actual top 10 in the factions, where we pick out a couple of the lists to talk about. So you can have your pulse, finger on the pulse of the meta, just like we do. Something available to that tier.
The way it works is we all pick one faction at the end of each review of an event. If you pick the first place, you get 3 points. You pick the second place, you get 2 points. You pick the third place, you get 1 point. And then if no one has picked anything out of the top 3, the next person who gets the next pick, the one that we called in the top 10, gets 1 point. And if none of us have picked a faction in the top 10, shame on us. We are not chasing the meta. We are adjacent to the meta.
Look, sometimes the meta
right angle
is all over the place, and this may be one of those weeks.
Mate, 11 demons, yeah, 11 demons. I almost picked demons, but I was like, don't be silly, Adam. Wait for the proof to be in the pudding first.
So Adam, you're actually calling the Blood Angels are going to be one of the standout factions, like the Marine winner in this case. So we're curious to see if it actually plays out.
Yeah, it's actually, funnily enough, not the trend for the other 2 events, but definitely in Birmingham and in England, Blood Angels are definitely the most taken faction, especially when you take into account that the 9 Adeptus Astartes are like Ultramarines, Salamanders, even, it could be White Scars or Imperial Fists for all we know, but they're all just listed under the one banner. So it could be a bunch of different sub-factions there, whereas Blood Angels has more than them. Mind you, I was impressed to see how many Dark Angels were taken, and I'm going to go back and have a look at some of those Dark Angels lists, because I'm quite interested to see how many took the inner circle, or how many took.
They all have Cypher in them.
They should. Honestly, I should be allowed to take Cypher in my Dark Angels. I should be allowed.
Just trying to rally you up.
It's fair. It's fair. Rile me all you like.
Next event we're talking about is the Salzburg Major from Salzburg, Austria. 68 players. It is a 5-round event. What are we going to see?
In the Imperial Super Faction, there are 2 Sisters of Battle, 4 Custodes, 2 Astra Militarum, 2 Grey Knights, and 2 Imperial Knights. Space Marines is 1 Adeptus Astartes, 2 Dark Angels, 1 Blood Angel, 1 Death Watch, and 1 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 2 Chaos Space Marines, 5 T-Suns, 2 Death Guard, 3 World Leaders, 2 Demons, 7 Chaos Knights out of nowhere. Xenos, there's 6 Necrons, 2 Orcs, 2 Tau, 2 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 5 Tyranids. Unfortunately, no Genius they're called. He's over in England right now playing air.
Yeah, he's in England.
Eldari, there's 2 Drakari and 5 Eldari. Meaning the faction podium is Chaos Knights, topping it off with 7. Necrons close behind them with 6, and then T-Suns, Eldari, and Nids tied for 3rd with 5. Now, Chaos Knights did get a glow up as well. Like, let's be real.
So outside of Blood Angels, I think Chaos Knights are the second biggest beneficiary from the nerfs that occurred to other factions. Just if you just looked at what got worse and what stayed the same, because there were no direct nerfs to Chaos Knights. In fact, they got a couple of little buffs here and there, especially to their bigger knights, which might not touch the sides. We'll wait and see if people start taking the big knights.
They don't take those.
Well, I got to say, I'm a huge fan of a single Rampager.
Yeah,
that guy is juiced when he can go through walls with once per game advance and charge. You just like, here's first turn, staging area, second turn, you cannot stop me. I may be battle shocked, but I'm gonna get you. Wherever you may be, he's gonna make it. It feels real good on that guy. And of course, you pay a couple of CP, Knights of Shade in 2 Carnivals at the same time. It sounds like a lot of fun. Don't know how good it is yet. More War Dogs might just be more better.
Probably, but I mean, let's do 5. We're going to see some 5 big knights in Chaos. Let's be real.
Well, let's think about this, though, is that some of those heavy weapons that have been taken recently to like combat Satan and stuff have maybe not as present anymore. And so you have the ability to maybe slip in some Chaos Knights. So maybe the bigger knights become more attractive.
Yep, it's true. And there are some big chunky units still to prey upon. We're still seeing, big sized orc units. We're going to see a lot more monsters from Tyranids as well. A lot more greater demons from demons. One big knight, can really ruffle stomp through some of those big gooblies out there, especially with new pivot rules being really good for some vehicles and making some vehicles very attractive to take, especially on more dense table formats, which I don't know for a fact that this is WTC terrain, but it's part of the Alpine Cup, so that makes me assume this is WTC terrain.
Makes sense.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. And so, the new pivot rules being in effect on those terrain maps is going to be very, very interesting to see who gets what juice out of that rule change. But anyway, I got one list for your viewing pleasure. This is Mr. Thomas Wobach, who won the singles at the WTC last year playing Eldar, and it was I streamed that game, and it was an Eldar mirror match with Wraith Knights and Yinkans popping up, popping down on each other, and I got to say, it was like 3D chess to commentate on, and then it had one of the. It was like almost no like. Both of them were too afraid to commit until like turn 4, then turn 5, and then it was just like a crazy chess match.
And they wondered like whose Incarn did first.
Whose Incarn is going to Incarn the other one's Incarn, and who when a model dies, order of operations wise, which Incarn has to pop up first, because the one that pops up second is the one with the benefits and can get the charge off and stuff like that.
Warhammer.
But anyway, very good player, Thomas Wobach, considered one of the best in the world, especially at Eldar. He's a faction specialist. He's got his battle host, and he's got an Autarch Wayleaper with a Phoenix Gem, so get back up on death. Karandris, who saw quite a significant points reduction in addition to the Striking Scorpions that are coming up as well. A Troop Master, which is the downgrade now from Yvraine. So Yvraine used to be taken in this slot to attach to a unit of troop. She went up in points, and now the Troop Master is very much a budget version of that. So it is not the Troop Master is not as good as Yvraine, but it's way less points now, so not a big deal. 10 Storm Guardians, 2x5 Dark Reapers, 2 Falcons, 5 Shadow Spectres, 3 Shroud Runners, 2x3 Sky Weavers, 2x5 Striking Scorpions, one of which will get Karandris as well, both infiltrate. It's really nice. 2x5 Swooping Hawks, 5 Troop to go with the Troop Master, and 3x5 Warp Spiders.
I heard he likes MSU.
Yeah, I love all that.
All those points went up. Still so much list in this list. Good Lord, there's a lot of list.
I like it. I mean, you have a lot of options, and sometimes you just have to default into, I'm just going to funnel things onto these objectives and take them off of you. And there's a lot of that in the mission pack, or the flips.
Straight up. So way less Shadow Spectres than we used to. It's like literally a third. Usually it's 3x5 Shadow Spectres. Just slam them in there. They were probably the best thing you could take, in my opinion, because they had that Doom modality. They were very versatile. The shoot and scoot, all that stuff. So only 5 now, I think, is a concession to the points hikes. In addition, I think Dark Reapers went up. I know Hawks didn't. I can't remember if Spiders did as well, but I know Spiders did in the previous one, if they didn't in this one. But so we're not seeing 3x5s of all of these things. It's much more diverse, which I like as well. It's not all just guys with a good gun. There is some melee here. There are heavy hitters. We've got the Dark Reapers. for the heavy hitters, and in concert with the Falcon, you can do some vehicle removal. The Wolf Spiders are just jank, Shadow Spectres just jank, Swooping Hawks jank. But then you got the troop and the Striking Scorpions. And with Karandras, those 5 Striking Scorpions can kill most things in the game, especially with a couple of CP and some Fate dice. So I think this is this list strikes a really beautiful balance. Nothing is overtly deadly, but at the same time, Thomas doesn't give a stuff about losing any one thing. And so it's just a really well constructed list. It's the only thing is the Falcons. I want to know, because I'm guessing there's a myriad of different things he can do with the Falcons each game. Like sometimes it's going to be the troop, sometimes it's going to be the Reapers, sometimes it's going to be whatever. And so I'm interested to see what he's chucking in there, and how he's wielding them on the table. Because of course they had that first turn deep strike, like a drop pod, and you can really get started early on people. So you could be having
good gun platform.
Oh,
yeah, it's very respectable. I wish a Razorback was as respectable, but here we are.
Razorbacks don't fly.
Look, Razorbacks should split units like Sagittars do. That's what I'll leave it at that. They should split units. But with this one, I'm interested to see how the Falcon goes, because with having so much early reach, tunes of Striking Scorpions plus Karandras being able to infiltrate up, the Skyweavers can move very fast and get stuck in very quickly. It could be that turn 1 there is 6, 7, 8 units on your doorstep. 2 Falcons with the 2 units inside, 2 units of Skyweavers, and 2 units of Striking Scorpions. So we could very much be walling you and putting you kind of in Eldari jail, or like smashing a flank with saturation. I really like the balance of this list, and now it feels like it's not just like cheap guys with guns, because of course the Scourges are missing from this list. A lot of the Spectres, like I said, are missing from this list. But it's got a much better diversity balance of the
you've
weapons.
got options like things like
correct.
This is the stuff with all the high quality low quality volumifier. Well, park a couple Falcons over there. Well, here's all the last cannons. Well, here's all this MSU stuff. Good luck. There's play.
Noticeably absent. There isn't no Fugan. That's the very noticeable absence here. Yeah, that's another thing I'd like to ask him. It's just because is he too many points now? Do you lose too many?
If you saw that in Fire Dragons, you'd know exactly what was happening with the Falcons.
Correct. You know exactly what's in the Falcons, right? But yeah, Fugan being missing is very much the interesting pick here, because I would have thought he's still nearly auto take. So I'd love to be able to pick Thomas's brain on what he felt like he was giving up, or what the proposition.
I mean, for his points, probably like 2 5-man squads of something.
I've got a feeling it throws out the whole balance.
It really does.
I got a feeling it makes it awkward for him.
I'm actually going to mention that with points being what they are. You think about, when we actually talk about this on another show, is like when you start changing part of your list, what goes with it to support that stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the decision tree here seems to have led to a different conclusion, but you got to pay attention to it, because this player's history.
Yep.
Exactly right. All right, time to pick some factions, boys. I'm going first. I'm back in the Chaos Knights.
Yeah,
Chaos Knights. All right.
Well, I left his Eldari, boys. I was going to pick Eldari, but then I realized I like CK, and I'm gonna back him. Who went second? Yeah, Paul, you went second last time. Yeah. So Dustin, so Paul, Thousand Sons.
Thousand Sons. Yeah.
Dusty Boy.
I'll take
Eldari.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's all good picks, lads. It's Europe.
Yep.
T-Sons are going to do well.
They will. 100%.
It's 2 constants in the meta. Every continent gets exactly 1 GSC player, and T-Sons do well in Europe.
Yep.
Next event we're going to be talking about is War Games Con 14 from Austin, Texas. I've been to this event in the past.
Excellent.
Good times. It's been one of those. I believe the event has changed hands a few times over the years. Matter of fact, I know it has.
It's been going for 14.
It's
a long innings for a single TO.
But carrying forward, that tradition of the area, you like to see it. Austin is a great city. Austin has a giant college there, so a lot of activity, a lot of cool stuff. It is a kind of like a destination city if you haven't been there before.
Here I was thinking you're about to tell us about a taco truck or a burger.
I was waiting for a taco truck.
Yes.
All right. Top pick.
No, so Torchy's Tacos is actually really, really good, but it's not a truck. It's a like a fast casual.
Literally knows it by name, by heart. My God.
But it does. Tex-Mex or traditional Mexican?
It's I think it's more on the traditional side, but there's elements of
Ooh.
Tex-Mex in it. It's
Nice.
but they have a bunch of different types of tacos. But Torchy's it's great. If you're in the
Fusion?
area, you should go.
There you go.
Look it
War
up.
Games, yeah, War Games Con. We know there's a lot of great players in Texas. It's a very active region. What are we going to see there?
We will be seeing in the Imperial Super Faction there are 7 Sisters of Battle, 6 Custodes, 2 Admech, 6 Astra Militarum, 3 Grey Knights, and 3 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 5 Adeptus Astartes, 5 Dark Angels, 2 Space Wolves, 3 Blood Angels, 2 Death Watch, and 2 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 6 Chaos Space Marines, 4 T-Suns, 6 Death Guard, 10 World Eaters, 2 Demons, and 5 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 6 Necrons, 11 Orcs, 9 Tau, and 2 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 4 Tyranids. Oh my God, the 2 Gene Stealer cult. Somebody from another continent has joined in Texas to double our numbers here. Love it. Love it. Eldari, there's 5 Drakari and 4 Eldari. I mean, the faction podium's Orcs topping off with 11. World Eaters close behind them with 10, and then Tau right behind them with 9. That's actually every single podium was completely different.
Correct.
That's
amazing. I'm literally just copy pasting all the podiums next to each other.
That's amazing.
Right now, just to demonstrate the diversity we're working with, right? But yeah, Orcs. I mean, we know Texas is very treadhead central, like a lot of tank lovers, a lot of Orc lovers.
Dorian says it's a very low number of Astra Militarum for that area.
For that area, absolutely. A lot of the treadheads. I mean, but not to mince words, maybe people don't have enough Rogal Daunts, or not enough Russes, or not the right turrets for their Russes to play the Russes that they want, or they're just lamenting the fact that, you know, to all appearances, Astra Militarum got dealt pretty rough. They're one of the most nerfed factions. Not saying I do not think they're a bad faction by any means, but the optics of it makes it feel a little unpalatable right now. It'll take some people some time to formulate what new lists look like for Guard, because it is back to the drawing board. But the good news is that index is very deep. There's a lot of very good data sheets still. Buy more Scions is Adam's top 1 pick of the day. I mean, play more Scions.
Scions is the answer.
So good. Yeah. But yeah, I put our 3 faction podiums next to each other. So we have Orcs, World Eaters, and Tau in Texas, Tyranids, Demons, and Necrons in England, Chaos Knights, Necrons, T-Suns, Eldari, and Tyranids. So only Nids show up twice and Necrons show up twice. Apart from that, everything else is unique.
That's crazy.
That is amazing.
That's so cool. I love that.
Digging on that.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Anything else jumping out to you boys about the faction delineation? 10 World Eaters is a lot. And when you have 10 Orcs and 10 World Eaters, people had better be prepared for aggro. You had better have some screens.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's 21 out of 123 players are just going to be coming at you.
In your face.
In your gob.
The Orcs actually does surprise me with those kind of numbers, because they did get a lot of hits. The Dread Mob is still actually probably the best one right now.
Yeah. It just changed, I think, what you go to in the list. Well, if you're playing, if you want peak efficiency, I'm not saying that, you know, if you might have a play style and you can do whatever, but, you know, we've often talked about those 3 detachments being all very playable and just kind of in contention for what your style was. And now if you're going just for lean efficiency, you know, maybe Dread Mob is the top.
Yeah. Very healthy Sisters numbers, healthy Custodes numbers as well. It's very obvious that people have got some more confidence in their green banana boys and are willing to give them another crack on the table, which is excellent to see. The Astartes numbers are a little bit wild, pretty mediocre for the most part. It's 2 Death Watch out of nowhere. Death Watch and Black Templars having the same amount of players. Who would have thought that would be a sentence? Wild.
I didn't think Death Watch were going to get that much more play right now. The fact that there's 2 more here than I thought there'd be. Let's put it that way.
Correct. Me too. Me too, mate. All right. The player in question whose list we have pulled out is Justin Moore, who is ranked number 1 in the US Southwest region, which is the Texas region. Ostensibly, they could just call this the Texas region, the ITC. But he's ranked number 1. He's playing Tau Empire of the Montcar variety, that being his detachment. Kicks off with 2 Cadre Fireblades and then an Enforcer Commander with full fusion outfit, so max fusion. 3x10 breaches, 2x3 stealth suits, 3 Sunforge crisis suits, which I assume are the fusion suits. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming. I looked at the Enforcer Commander. I'm like, fusions. I'm like, I don't know what this one is yet.
Sunforge sounds fusiony,
Exactly right. He's got fusions. I'm assuming they got fusions too. Seems like a safe bet. Then we've got 2 Ghost Keels, 2 Hammerheads, 2 Piranhas, 2 Riptides, and 2 Devilfish. Just 2s as far as I can see down the rest of that pile. But that's just 2 of all the good stuff, plus the Piranhas for utility and the Devilfish to tote around the breaches. So I really like this list. I think this list is very good. It's taking all the right things as far as I'm concerned. I'm not 100% sold on whether I think Hammerheads are better than Skyrays right now, because I actually quite rate the Skyray. I think the Skyray is going up in utility quite a bit.
Really? Even with like all the things it can't do?
I think the Hammerhead's better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. I feel like it's closer than it has been in the past.
It definitely.
But I don't know which way I would go.
I think Ion Hammer is just the way to go. That's what I think.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, the Ion head. Eye on head, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hey!
Wow.
But the 2 Riptides are still making an appearance, paying quite a few more points for them, but they've still got a lot of things that they can really punish in the meta. Their guns are very good into a multitude of different targets. And the 2 Ghost Keels are just like, I still think they're one of the best lone op in the game. The fact
agreed.
The fact that they come with minus to hit, they have 2 blanks on damage, and then they're just a very durable body once you get through all of that. Still, still a monster, high toughness, good save. I really like this list, boys. What do you think?
I love the versatility of it because it has 2 of all the good stuff. Every single one of them. I mean, it gives you the one to do this, to do whatever it's in the list to do, and you have the other one for just backup. Like you have your fail saves, right? I love that. I am a big fan of having those kind of fail saves in there.
I'm interested to know how he's going to use the crisis suits, because of course I know they went down quite a lot in points. They're actually pretty aggressively pointed right now. But in my head, he uses. I would assume he's using kind of as a response force rather than an aggressive thing.
Yeah.
Because of course you deep strike him in your opponent's deployment zone, you blow something up and you die. So I'm of the opinion he's probably going to use them as stick him in deep strike, and then when people push out on his on his lines, he's going to smack them down with the fusion.
I can mention you got rapid ingress. You've got most tournament terrain formats have like a staging area where you can almost set up these like threatened, like if you're going to put them there, and if they come anywhere near you, they're going to lose that unit. So it's almost a threat delay type piece, probably where just this number of them will be used. I think is that check,
exactly
making people really want it. Which it really cost them a turn or two. It cost them a turn or two, translates into more wins. More you play in your own game, so it could be a real power piece. Or group
Spot on. Who hasn't picked first yet? I think I picked first, but Paul, off you go, mate.
World Eaters.
I love it. A lot of people are touting World Eaters as one of the high contenders, not one of the best armies in the game, but one of those armies that, because of what people believe is on top right now, can go really, really well into the top of the meta. And it's funny that they're like we've seen this with others. They can be a spoiler for the top, but they've got some predators, next to them in the same kind of ranking, which is, I think, I love that. I love that stuff. That stuff, it really excites me. That's why I chase this here meta. Dustin, you want to go next?
Sure. I'll go Tau.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I'm going the Orcs.
Yeah.
So many Orcs.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Great picks.
I think we all picked good.
I actually looked at that. I was reading your minds. I'm like, they're going to pick this and this and this. World Eater smash that. So, got to hope that things line up.
Well, dude, World Eaters go first versus, this list actually could be a lot of problems. I mean, it's just got the stealth suits out front to try and hold back the lanes of ingress, and they don't have a huge wingspan for the amount of territory. It's just 3 40 mil bases, 2x3 of them. So it might be that you're just trying to wall off with the piranhas and the devilfish. Sacrifice devilfish
stay out front and take all the hits. They'll be fine. 4 up invulns.
Oh, yes, Angron 6 exalted 8 down.
Whatever.
Riptide doesn't care. It doesn't fine.
Never heard of him.
Can't fail a 4 up. Who cares?
I have never failed a 4 up in my life.
If you were playing me, that's what would happen. If you were playing me, it would be your day. It would be your best day. You'd be like, wow, and go bronze this hand. Oh my goodness, this is a 5-week month, so of course our numbers are high for our predictions.
Well, they were already high. This is the 5th week, and the numbers are already at as high as we have seen them. and we've still got 1 week to go. So there's points to be made, but this is going to be the brand new start. So if you do want to find out who wins this 5-week month, jump into
the patron.
That Patreon. It's all go to Patreon, Warhammer Meta Chasers. You want to sign up for that second tier to get that juicy part 2, which just went up yesterday for our lovely patrons.
Yeah, and thanks a lot for folks that have already chosen to do that. The show, of course, takes a lot of work to put together, and that is one way to say what's up. Of course, there are many ways to say what's up. That is just one way to do it. Some other hassle-free ways are leaving us comments and giving us thumbs up and that kind of stuff. Leaving 5-star reviews anywhere you listen to this, because not only do we love it, the live audience and the after watch on YouTube, but any of the podcast aggregators means a whole lot when you do that little bit. And look, we're 44 minutes and 16 seconds into the show. So if you made it this far, at least give us that subscribe and that thumbs up and like, and then go about the rest of your day. It means a whole lot.
Doesn't cost you much.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference for us.
And now we're about to get to a part in our show. Look, if you just joined us after the end of all that crunching the meta, seeing what's up, making our brains do all the exercises and flip-flops, we get to a segment where we get to just kind of chill and take the pressure off. We call this segment the Fuego Repeato. This sometimes has very little to do with Warhammer at all. We give ourselves 2 minutes to talk about a topic. At the end of that 2 minutes, we abandon that topic, never to return to it again, and then go on to the next topic.
Thought we were going to have balance slate questions, but here we are. Food for thought.
We can do that next week. We need time.
Food.
We need time to see.
We have to
the balance
to digest.
We need to digest
and chew on the
next
slate.
week is going to be slate. Don't worry. Next week's slate.
Nice. Okay.
But this one is food for thought, so it's gonna be food related.
Oh, nice. Once we start that clock,
I'm in.
All right, let's do it. First one. Salad, before or after the main meal?
Controversially, during.
Whoa.
Yes. Why does it have to be before or after?
I'm a multi-plate.
Aperitif?
I'm a multi-plate maestro.
So you're like digging into your salad while you're eating your steak?
Hey, real talk. Who on earth eats it after? Anybody? Show of hands. Anybody?
I actually had somebody approach me the other day talking about how they have their salad as their palate cleanser at the end of their meal. I had never heard it before then.
Yeah. I mean, if you get a big steak, I want to break it up. Otherwise, I get overwhelmed and don't appreciate the steak as much. So I need to be chucking other things in the middle there.
I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of salad. Like, if you have like a really strong like balsamic dressing on it or something, that could really overpower your taste buds, right?
I mean, American salads are not salads. They have bacon and
how much
cheese
meat
on them.
Can I pile in this and cheese?
Yeah, it's absurd. I remember the first time I was in the States and I got Uber Eats and I ordered like the salad with all this stuff. I got a burrito as well. And the salad came and there was more meat on the salad than in my burrito, which I believe had extra pork. And I was like, this is ridiculous. There's more pork on the salad. Yeah. Anyway, I am a during man, and you only need to look at the way I order and the way I eat to know I'm neurodivergent and have ADHD, because I've got to have like 3 drinks and 3 or 4 plates that I'm eating from at the same time. Just like, yum. Yeah.
You know what? I can actually vouch for that. I remember in Vegas seeing that and thinking, wow, this guy likes to keep his palate guessing when he's eating.
Gotta mix it up. You don't get job fatigue. I'm a during as well. Like, typically our family meals at dinner time will have a salad, or some greens on the plate at the same time. Yeah.
Okay, I'm a before guy. I always have it before. I like it as kind of like an appetizer, just to kind of get my mouth ready for what's about to happen.
That would be like fine dining. They would do that.
Yeah,
fine dining.
Fuego.
Next up. For trays of baked sweets, do you prefer a quarter piece or a middle piece?
Like for brownies and stuff like that?
Yeah, like for brownies. I think brownies is the best example of this.
I think I'm a corner piece boy. I like the chewy corner pieces on brownies. That's my favorite bit.
As much as that caramelized texture I could get, the better. I always corner.
So
like, no matter what it is.
What is the benefit of the middle one? Because I've always been a corner piece, and I've never really.
It's gooey, I guess.
Gooey?
Yeah, I guess it's gooey. It's softer.
Does it get, like,
when I was a kid, I always wanted the middle piece. As a man, I want the corner piece.
I feel like as a kid, I wanted the middle piece because I liked kind of just making a mess of the whole thing. So I like making my mom have to cut the middle of it before anything else. It's like, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Look, folks are texture. I mean, I am largely a texture eater.
We got some middle enjoyers in chat.
We do. Okay, guys, what is it about the middle? Less burnt. Okay.
So,
but I like the burnt. See, I like the burnt.
I like the burnt.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it is.
What
I agree. It's hard to get baking, depending on the ovens and everything, it's hard to get everything the exact same temp and doneness.
Does this same theory that we're agreeing upon that we like the corner piece hold true for like lasagnas, pasta bakes, macaroni?
Yeah, 100%. Anything that has a corner, that's what I'm going for.
Same thing. Lasagna was the next one I was thinking of too, because I love the crunchier, like not burnt, but burnt like corner pieces. I love that.
So the three of us are aligned. As one of the first times we have complete agreement, that's like unanimous, undeniable.
There are 4 corners in a dish typically. So if we ever got 2 more people on this show, we would have to strategically place how we lined up to get the meal.
Very, very hard to do.
And I will say, if I'm going through a line and I see a corner piece and there's not, there's more people than corners exist, I'm like putting a lot of brain power on getting that corner.
What other baked sweets options are there? All I can think of is brownies.
It's banana pudding. Those things you can get.
Cake, casseroles.
Yeah.
Man, I am a banana pudding convert, by the way.
Yeah, cobblers.
I go hard for banana pudding. They are delicious. Even the ones I used to get it from Publix, which is one of the supermarkets in Florida, and I'd get the big one. I'd get like the gallon and eat it over a week. It's fantastic. Anyway, Fuego.
We should have a whole segment on banana pudding.
Banana pudding would be a segment.
We could.
I'll put that in the
key
list.
lime pie, banana pud, bread and butter pud. Yeah, we'll try ranking. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Next up, your ultimate meal combo if you could combine items from multiple fast food restaurants.
Oh, this is going to be controversial. There's no way we agree on this. There's no way. There is no way.
No, can't fit this in. Yeah. So are you talking about like national fast food chains?
Yes, national fast food chains.
Not like a.
We want as many people in this chat to recognize it as possible when you're talking about it.
So I suppose I should just do American ones, right? Because I've eaten enough.
I mean,
we're not going to know what the saucy bossy from Melbourne is,
Why don't we have that? That's excellent. That's excellent. I'm going to pitch that.
In Melbourne. I love it.
Okay, guys, I got a new burger / sausage roll. It's a sausage roll in a burger, and we've got sauce in the sausage roll. It's saucy bossy.
I'd eat it.
Yeah, I would too. I would absolutely eat it. Has to have beetroot on it.
I would have a Frosty from Wendy's.
Yep.
I like the Frosties from Wendy's.
I'm with you.
Strong start.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yep. But the rest of it's where it starts to fall apart. Do you guys know Quesada?
No,
it's a taco place, or taco burritos. So they actually have like some of my favorite tacos. I love those tacos. So I'd want like Frosty from Wendy's, a triple taco from like spicy taco from Quesada.
Yep.
And I don't know.
Go with like a Whataburger burger and Five Guys fries. Probably no onions on the burger though.
So
they put too many onions on the burger.
Okay. Double Baconator. I think it's from Wendy's.
Whoa,
yep. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Five Guys fries.
Yep. Okay.
Biscuits from Popeyes.
Ooh.
And a Baja Blast from Taco Bell.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
You
lost me at the end there, but the rest
I don't know what flavor it is. No one does.
Yeah.
Baja flavor.
It's like the Dorito of soft drinks.
Yeah.
Like you get it when you eat a Dorito, you will like kind of know, you kind of taste something.
So when like I've been like done like an overnight stream, like a double overnight stream, and I finish at like 3:00 in the morning at times in the States, when I get whatever. I once went past a Wendy's and got a double Baconator, and it was. I mean, I've only had like the basic burgers from like Five Guys and Whataburger.
Mm-hmm.
So their upper tier ones might be better than the double Baconator, but that thing was
Baconator's a strong burger.
It's good. It is very good.
Hit all the spots.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Hit all the spots. Good and bad.
Cake Shake from Chicago. Okay, I got to give that a shout.
Okay.
That's from Portillo's.
Yeah, it is.
I've never heard or had it.
They only come in different sizes of bucket, as far as I'm concerned. The sheer size of them is obscene. The amount of dairy you ingest, like I don't know what to think of what it does to your guts.
You can't think about it sometimes. You just got to live. You got to live in the moment.
That's
just
right.
got to send
you
it.
You have to live in that moment.
Fuego. We didn't actually like a minute on that one.
Oh yeah,
we
did.
We were
talking about something different. We closed that one out.
Yeah. That's true.
We did
well.
We got rules around here.
We have rules that we rarely bend them. Anyway, next up, it's midnight. What are you grabbing for a snack?
I already told you it was for my
I'm a big I like crunchy snacks.
I want Paul to tell me what I should get for a snack.
Oh, you mean like going to be in the house? Like something?
I figured it would be at the house, right? Because you're not going to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess unless you're just that guy that will drive to Wendy's to get a bacon.
No. If we just need a snack, we just need a little something. We'll hit up the Waffle House. Get an order of hash browns or a piece of pecan pie. That's what we would go to if we were leaving at midnight, 3 a.m.
Okay. What about having it at home?
At the house, I'm chips. Like I'm chips. Like crunchy snack guy. Some kind of chips. I probably have.
What's your brand of choice?
Oh, so I'm a big fan of kettle cooked. So if it's like there's been a lot of those like coming out. So either kettle chips or the other things that have copying the kettle chip vibe.
I like the kettle chips.
I was a big fan of plantain chips when I was in the States. Can't get them over here very well, but there were some really good ones. Like there was some like lime chili ones I used to get over there. They were delicious. My go-to at home is carrot and hummus, and I'll put like dukkha and extra olive oil and extra salt on top of the hummus. Dukkha is like a Middle Eastern spice blend.
Okay. I think I've probably seen that. I have no idea what the name is. Yeah.
You coat the top. The way I know I've eaten enough of it is I coat the top of the tub of hummus in dukkha, and then when I've eaten all the dukkha, I'm done.
You ready for the next layer? You excavate the next layer next time.
Yeah, that's next week's.
So I actually have a list of things that I go through in order whenever I'm trying to have a snack. It's just a matter of if we have strawberries left, I'll have some strawberries. We have some carrots left with dip, I'll have some carrots with dip. I'll have an apple if not. Then I'll start getting down to like Triscuits, like some kind of not healthy snacks, but like healthier crackers. But if I'm really hungry, I'll like make my own homemade.
I point out, I was honest about potato chips. I'm not talking about no healthy strawberries.
Hey, I try to keep it healthy, but if we have chips, I mean that's bad.
All right, I'm injecting a question here. All dressed. I had all dressed chips in Canada.
Yep.
Fully dressed or whatever the crap they're called.
All dressed. Yeah.
All dressed. Yes or no, boys? Where do you guys sit on the all dressed? Good or bad?
Dustin is like contractually obligated to say he loves them.
I think I am actually. It's in the Canadian contract of citizenship.
Yeah. They're going to come tear up your passport if you're citizen.
It just tastes like ketchup flavored chips.
I like ketchup flavored chips. See, so I like them. I think over the years I've just gotten tired of them because now whenever I have them, like, I still like them, but I'd rather have like ketchup or salt and vinegar. Yeah, those
like a stronger, distinguishable flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I've never had I should say real because I've eaten chips, but they come labeled all dressed. But we get them down here, and I don't know if they're authentic or just the impression like they showed in a picture of an all dressed chip.
You need to have like the Ruffles all dressed. Those are the real ones.
So, I think I can't remember who I was in Canada, and I can't remember who got me the pack of the authentic ones. And just as a meme, I put the first chip in my mouth, nodded, and then took it out. It wasn't that bad. It just wasn't that good either.
I think it was Val.
People had been telling me, "Oh, you gotta have this, gotta have this, gotta have this." I had it, and I'm like, it's okay, I guess. I wouldn't buy a pack of them next to just like plain salted, which is kind of my preference.
Okay, well, if you're a plain salted guy, you can't put down a flavored one. Then.
Do you remember why I'm a plain salted guy? Because if you have a spice rack, you can just have whichever flavor you want whenever you want it. Some smoked paprika in there, Cool. You got a different packet of chips when you're halfway through.
But what if you're
Yeah,
out
you
and
know.
about? You carry some smoked paprika in your glove compartment? You know what? That's actually not a bad idea. I might start doing that.
Yeah, I'm like,
Bit of cumin, bit of turmeric. Chuck
I
it in
think
there.
I'll solve that problem.
That does solve
You
that
guys,
problem.
you
You're right.
guys, honestly, you guys need to Google chicken salt, Australian chicken salt, and just have a shaker of that at hand at all
Okay,
times.
but can we
That
get
stuff is
Australian
delicious.
shaker salt outside of Australia, or is it just salt anywhere else?
Chicken salt.
Chicken salt is the thing. You can get that like on Amazon.
Or celery salt. That stuff is delicious.
Affiliate links down below. No.
Yeah. Sorry. Do you have another Fuego? This has been like an intense Fuego. We're getting right into
We
it.
always get this with
also-
food.
I want to point out something also is that I think that some of these things taste better when you are in the region. Like if you're going and doing
That's a fair
something
point. Yeah.
and you're there and it probably just hits different, as they say nowadays.
Okay. Oh, there's
Is
one
there another
more.
Fuego?
There's one more.
Let's go.
You're in the finals of a cooking show. What dish do you make?
Ooh.
Oh, hamburgers, baby. Hamburgers.
Iron Chef pulls out the burgers.
Yep.
Here we go.
Is it the
Yep.
Ron Swanson burger? Here is a bun with meat in it. You can put sauce on it if you want.
I'd probably do my either my blue cheese garlic steak or the teriyaki salmon.
Teriyaki salmon's pretty good.
Sounds good.
Blue cheese garlic steak's nice as well.
That is probably my favorite meal to make. I love that. My wife doesn't digest steak well, so I can't make it that often around here.
Someone said smoked brisket. How long is this final?
yeah, seriously.
This cooking show.
The start of the
there's-
week before.
There's barbecue shows. There's pitmaster shows.
There is.
Well, yeah, I
That's
guess
true,
if you have a
that's
hot
true.
enough barbecue, right? But doesn't it kind of take away a lot of it? No.
No, you don't do it. No, you don't. You do not want to do it fast. You have
Okay.
to do that slower, or will
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's
So
a labor of love.
Right. Yeah. So you have a smoker, right? Right, Paul. You have to.
No, I don't.
You don't have a
I
smoker?
don't. I want to. I wish I did have a smoker, but I've yet to take the plunge.
You have to cross that Rubicon.
I'm shocked actually. I figured you'd be the. Do you have one, Adam?
What, a smoker? I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
It doesn't. It no longer works. But yes, I lost.
It's not just a room
vital
in your house
components.
that you cook
I-
meals in, right? It's not.
He does. It's the
So-
oven. You can turn
It's the
make
oven.
anything a smoker if you try hard enough.
during like the 2.5 years of COVID. Here, I moved house 4 times, and I've lost various small components of my smoker, and
So
it's
you
no
just carry
longer
around
a
the husk.
smoker.
Now
It
you're
is-
Albert.
You carry
it's
around so you can
just-
say you have one.
It's just a case.
It
a
might
metal
be
case.
time
Now,
to get rid of it at that point and actually get another.
Hey, I'm not ready. All right, we had good times.
I respect that.
I can respect.
What would I make? So there's the authentic Maltese side of me wants to make a rabbit stew, like an
Ooh.
authentic rabbit
Okay,
stew
okay.
with
Wait, so are you
fresh
pressure
pasta.
cooking the rabbit? You know, is like that's
Yes
it
and no. You can do
tender?
it. You can do it 2 ways. You can fricassee it and get it done pretty quick, and it comes out okay. It's always going to be a little bit gamey. If you stew it long enough, you get a lot of the gaminess out. But you're cooking for 2-3 hours to get that done. So it'd be how much time I'd got. Otherwise, I'd probably do a rack of lamb because it's always impressive. It's always gets good marks.
so
If
you're
you
talking about
cook-
like the crown, right? You crown it up.
You crown it up. I'd probably do a pistachio crumb. You blitz up pistachios, panko crumbs, and parsley, and use that to crumb the outside of it. And then you fry it off, get it color on all sides. Sometimes you slap with a little bit of mustard, or I just use butter. Sometimes just give a lather of butter so you can stick the
binder,
crumb
yeah.
on, and then bake it in the oven. Serve it with some mash, maybe some, if you want to be fancy, some parsnip puree or something like that, or some honey roasted carrots. Beautiful.
Nice.
Love it.
I hate to tell you, my burger's taking this
Yeah,
competition.
I mean, Adam and I tried to go all
What's-
fancy, and then Paul just comes in with his burgers. Like, yeah, you're done. That's it. Like,
So everyone talks about their meat blend for their burger patties. What is Paul's go-to blend?
So I think you're talking about like if you were to put in like chuck and ribeye
Chuck,
into the meat. So
Yeah, what's
I do not grind my own beef. But I believe a lot of the technique of a burger is just in that the technique of the burger. Like how do you construct? How do you craft? How do you
You don't overwork it, or
Yeah, you definitely don't
If
want to It depends on what your style is, right? Like smash burger is going to be different than a patty burger.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Is it 70-30 or is it 60-40 fat to meat? I can't remember.
80-20 is the ideal because then you will render that fat and it will actually, if you're going smash burger, will crisp up, get that lattice on your side. So
yeah.
Okay, I gotta have a burger.
There we go. We learned a lot today.
We did learn a lot today.
But a burger sauce, is like, just make your own little burger / fry sauce depending on where you are in the country. They call it different stuff, and that's like, you get that little technique blend right, and your burger turns magical.
So I've had barbecue in all up the West Coast. I've had it in the South. I've had it in Texas, but apparently I still haven't had barbecue because I haven't had it in where is it?
Kentucky, Kansas is sorry, Kansas City, Missouri, I think is right.
Yeah. Apparently I still haven't had. Every time I have barbecue, someone tells me I haven't had barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't had real barbecue. Yeah, you haven't.
The sauces are radically different in those regions too.
Well, I was super impressed in how much I liked the turkey that I had in Texas, like the smoked barbecue turkey. I consider turkey to be the least good eating bird, but I was very impressed with how well they made it.
Ooh, nice. Smoked turkey does sound good. Yeah,
smoked turkey is delicious. Yeah,
smoked turkey.
Well, that's our show this week.
I'm hungry now. Time for
me. I know, right? I hope the people who are catching this later are listening after breakfast. So.
Yeah.
See, you guys are lucky. Now, KR. See now next time I go to Kansas, I have barbecue, and KR Quinn's going to pop up. It's like, oh, you haven't been to the Carolinas in that barbecue. You haven't had true barbecue.
Yep.
It's happened everywhere I've had barbecue so far.
Yeah, it takes. What about the time? People spend hours, their whole day, it could be their whole weekend, trying to make this one dish.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that they're all proud of it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
They're distinct, different experiences. All right, well, that is our show this week. It's been a pleasure talking about Warhammer and various other things with y'all in chat. Really glad y'all can come and join us. And after you listen after the fact, please don't forget to do all those calls to action that we politely requested earlier. That is what keeps everything flowing around. Until then, we'll be back next week. If you need a little bit, need to get a fix in between now and then, check us out on the Patreon. And we look forward to seeing y'all next week. Good night, everybody.
See you then, guys.
Good night.